Well, welcome everybody to another episode of the Marketing Checklist Viewcast. Sharon and Hank Yuloff here from Yuloff Creative. When you're looking to solve your marketing, sales, and HR challenges, we're the first people you should call.
On this Viewcast, you will meet and learn from successful entrepreneurs who are making it happen right now.
Right now. Here's how it works. We have pre-sent all of the questions to our guests, and they have sent us the answers. So we have a really good idea what we're going to be talking about today.
Indeed.
And here's the kicker. The interview is 7 minutes, 21 seconds long. Why 7:21?
That's our wedding anniversary.
So it makes it really easy for us to remember. So do you want to introduce our guest before we start?
Certainly. Our guest today is Paul Cartwright, and he is with ukroyalbeasts.com, and you will get to learn all about it. I think it's fascinating.
So it's UK as in Britain.
Correct.
Royal Beasts, plural. .com.
Yes. We'll say that more than once, and it'll be in the show notes. No worries.
Yeah, we just like to get that done. So are you ready to get started?
I am.
All right, Paul. The clock will start when Sharon asks the first question. So let's get started.
Okay. Paul, keeping in mind that we only have a 3-story building, what is your elevator story?
My wife and I went to London on a holiday, and we saw these statues in Kew Gardens, and the statues were animals. And my wife is an equestrian. So as soon as she saw a horse and a unicorn, she whips out the iPhone and she's taking all these pictures. So it occurs to me that a wonderful gift for her later would be a book explaining the statues. So I go into the gift shop and I ask them for such a book, and they tell me it does not exist. So I left Kew Gardens thinking I would create such a book. Turns out there are 10 statues. Each statue represents a previous monarch who is part of the family of the current Queen of England. The statues were created in 1953 for her coronation. Each of the 10 statues has a shield, and on the shield is usually 2 to 5 other icons of even further back. So if you understood the symbology that you were looking at, just looking at those 10 statues, you have a millennium of monarchs in front of you.
Wow, cool.
Awesome.
So I decided to do, as I did my research on it, I decided a book that would only be sold at Kew Gardens and also the History Museum in Quebec, where the original statues currently reside, didn't make sense, given that this was a wonderful way to teach the history of England and its monarchs. So I actually helped create an educational, innovative app, interactive app that teaches the history.
Okay. So is that what your business is all about? Is about the app?
My business is actually multiple apps. They did these statues for Queen Elizabeth because Henry VIII is the one who actually created this idea. Henry VIII was faced with the challenge of how do you show people who do not read and write that his parents ended the Game of Thrones we call War of Roses. So he literally created 3 statues, and he said, this is the House of Lancaster. That's my daddy. And he created 3 statues, and he said, this is the House of York. That's my mama. And they took the 2 roses and he put them together, and he said, I'm done here, right? I represent the unification of the 2 families. Henry was actually not meant to be king. He was trained to be a priest. He was going to go into the church until his older brother died and he had to step up and become the monarch. So one of the things that concerned him.
Here's what we're going to do. Let's get into the questions because we want people to buy the book.
And the app.
And the app.
Right.
We don't want to give it all away for free.
You got it. So anyway.
So what tips?
Are we restarting?
No, we're not.
No. What tips could you give to our listeners?
Yes, we are restarting because he said that.
Yeah.
Okay. We were 3 and a half minutes in. So let's go quicker.
Okay.
We don't
I'm sorry.
We don't want to give it away all away for free. Let them buy the app.
Give them just enough to make them want to raise their hand and go, oh, I need more information. How do I connect with him?
Yep. Okay.
So the bottom line is there's going to be a King's Beast app. That was what I was getting to. Right.
Okay. We'll get to it faster. Okay. Are we ready?
Ready?
Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of the Marketing Checklist Viewcast. We're Sharon and Hank Yuloff from Yuloff Creative Marketing Solutions. We're here to solve your sales, marketing, HR challenges, and be the small business coaches that you can call.
Yes. On this viewcast, you will meet and learn from successful entrepreneurs who are making it happen right now.
Right now. And here's how it works. We have pre-sent them the questions. They have all their answers ready so that we can put this into an interview that's just 7 minutes, 21 seconds. Why 7:21?
It's our wedding anniversary.
We needed a number that was easy to remember. So let's get started. Sharon, would you introduce our guest today?
Yes. Our guest today is Paul Cartwright from UK Royal Beasts, plural.com. You don't worry about it. It's going to be in the show notes. We'll say it a few times. No worries.
So it's UK Royal Beasts, plural.com.
Correct.
Awesome. And it's an app you guys are going to really love. So why don't we get to it? Sharon, get started and I'll start the clock.
Keeping in mind, Paul, that we only have a 3-story building, what is your elevator story?
My wife and I went to London in 2015 and we visited Kew Gardens. And while we were there, we saw statues of these animals. My wife is an equestrian. She loved the horse. She loved the unicorn. So she whips out her camera and she starts taking pictures of all of them. I thought that a book that commemorated our visit would be a lovely gift for her. So I went to the gift shop later and I tried to buy such a book, only to be told it does not exist. So I walked out thinking I will make such a book. And I began to do the research of why these 10 statues were in Kew Gardens. And it turns out each statue represents an ancestor of Queen Elizabeth II. And each statue has a shield with emblems of other family members. And so if you understood the symbology you were looking at, you literally had 900 years of British monarchs in front of you.
Wow. So what is your business really all about?
So I decided to make an app that would be innovative, educational, and fun. And so UK Royal Beasts LLC was started with the concept of we will make fun apps. And we will start with the monarchs of England because many people are fascinated by all things royal.
Absolutely.
As well as the fact there are 54 Commonwealth nations that this is their history and they have to know this.
I didn't know there was 50.
Cool.
Inclusive in the app is a printable timeline that I thought would be the Crip notes or the cheat sheets for the students who have to have it or have to know this for their subject matter.
Awesome.
Okay.
And so one of the
So why should all listeners
the business is
why should our listeners flock to you?
Why do they need the app?
Because to get the same amount of information in a few moments, you would spend many days flipping through Wikipedia following links. Whereas I have with images and clicks. And I also hired British actors to read it. So you can read it yourself. You can have it read to you. As well as you can tap back and forth with the interactive timeline.
It's British royalty for dummies.
Exactly.
What tips can you give to our listeners?
So there over 1,000 years of history is in this app. And so you learn everything of how gin came to England. You learn how tea came to England. Neither of those plants are native to the country.
Oh.
So you also can learn about the man who studied to be a priest who ended up being a king.
Don't tell us which one. Make him go to the app. I'll bet I know his name, though.
Yes, you do. And of course, what you probably don't know is that his grandmother was pregnant when she was 12.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
So there's intrigue.
So Paul, what's an amusing job title for you?
I've often been called popcorn head because ideas continue to percolate and pop out. So one of my colleagues' biggest tasks is to keep me focused because here comes the next great idea. Right? And so as head of the company, you have to have the far vision in order to see what can be done. But an important component of it is realizing your own shortcomings and hire people who complement you rather than who mirror you, right?
Yeah.
If 5 popcorn heads are all together, the app
Nothing
never
can
would have gotten created.
Yeah, we tell a story in our boot camp about that exact same thing. The development of our business, and it comes down to 2 words: just because. So just because you have a great idea doesn't mean that you have to be the one that turns it into a business. Yeah,
Yes.
Exactly.
So Paul, what are the most common questions that people ask you about your business?
Most people ask about this particular app. Some are delighted to hear about the apps that will be coming based on the code we have, whether it is the King's Beasts. And the reason we use beasts, by the way, is in heraldry, when you have an animal icon representing an ancestor, they use the term beast.
Okay.
And so that's how we got Queen's Beasts. That's how we will get to the King's Beasts. But using that same code, I plan to do American presidents. I plan to do Chinese dynasties.
Wow.
wow,
Awesome.
And so the idea here is that the UK Royal Beast LLC will become a provider of educational materials primarily to the 7th to 10th grade students worldwide. So we're going to reach the generation that is device dependent.
Yeah, very cool. What was the most unexpected thing that you encountered in your business?
The I'm learning it now. You would think that something as fascinating as all things royal, at a time when the Crown is on one television channel, Victoria's on another, you would think that the social media advertising would help me sell this app better. I'm amazed at my difficulty in getting this app recognized and found.
Interesting. Huh.
we'll give you away at the end. We should talk.
Yeah. What's your favorite business tool that you use to get the job done for your clients?
Primarily, I love all things Apple. So my Apple MacBook, with whether it's Photoshop in tweaking the images, whether it was in PowerPoint with the original layout, whether it's using iMovie to make the video app. So the tool is really the computer itself and learning the skill sets to work well with it.
Yeah, I get that. What 4-letter word best describes your business, Paul?
I'd have to say fun, spelled PHUN, because I just have so much fun with this.
We've never had a guest to do that before. They've all found an actual 4-letter. And what about this app? What about this project gave you the most happy, the happiest moments?
When I had my graphic designer say she's done,
Wow.
was one of them, because she and I, unfortunately, could spend days working on the same thing and then come back and go, no, let's start over, right? Wow. So putting a nail to saying, we're done. This is the app. This is the one we're going to sell. Yes, it could be better. No, we're not going to make a change.
At some point, the marketing tip here, folks, at some point you have to say we're done. Right. That happened to me with my first book, 49 Stupid Things People Do with Business Cards and How to Fix Them. Had to finish it. It was like, okay, we're done. And
there could always be a 2.0 later.
Yeah.
Right?
There's at some point you've got to say, yes, we're finished. Let's move on. Heck, our logo, that Sharon and I are wearing. I can design a logo for clients like that. Give them 5 really good ones. For ours, 60, 70 versions. At some point, that's it. So that's a really great point. What did you learn in nursery school that most helps you in business now?
I'd have to say it's play well with others, share your tools, share your knowledge, and listen when they have something to share, right? Don't be so invested in yourself that you really refuse to allow others to play.
Is there an amazing lead that you would like to get from this, like some fantasy lead from this?
As I may have indicated, there are 54 Commonwealth nations where this is their history. So if I could find either the Church of England's curriculum director for their private schools, if I could find even the Catholic Church, right? Even though they're opposing religions, the history of England is an important part of their school curriculums. Basically, curriculum directors who could help me get it where I could make one sale and their students could have it downloaded for free because the institution is buying it in bulk, that would be ideal.
Awesome. I'm going to guess that you didn't know that this was going to be your calling when you were growing up.
6-year-old Paul, this is not his answer.
No, I want to teach the world about English royalty.
No. It was pure happenstance. I've been helping people with technology since the 1990s here in Los Angeles. And so primarily my normal day job was one-on-one sitting down and showing you how to use your Apple computer, right? And that started when I attended USC, and that became my part-time job at USC. And when I left USC, I didn't use my business degree so much. I used the computer skill set, became the end user support for the Los Angeles Times, and eventually started my own business from there. But no, I had no concept that I would make an app to teach history.
Who would? So if someone's listening that loves joint ventures, do you have an ideal trading partner for leads on a joint venture basis?
I would dearly love to find and talk with someone who has experience in selling to the academic institutions. You know, when I first started on this, I thought, oh, there's one person in Sacramento where I could sell to all the community colleges, or one person in Sacramento where I could sell to all the University of California's systems. No. I was basically, and even later when I realized I wanted to bring it down to the middle school level, they're all telling me, you have to go unified by unified. So even in just Los Angeles County, there's over 30 some unifieds.
District by district.
So I think the key is going to be, we need to find you one. If we can find one and get proof of concept, that will help
every other. It'll be like a domino.
Yeah.
We just need to find the first domino.
That's really going to be the key for us. I'll bet we could. Yeah, we'll find that. So our last question, is there something you want to offer our listeners so they can begin a conversation with you? If that person from a school district is watching.
So if they actually go to our website, we recently have put up 3 downloadable PDFs where they can actually color or give it to their children to color. But right during the pandemic, they're looking for activities for their children. Well, here are 3 beasts where you've got lots of detail that you can color. But all the contact information on how to reach me is there at www.ukroyalbeasts.com.
Yes. I have a question. Did you look, just for the heck of it, since we've now focused on the S, did you look to see if ukroyalbeast.com is available?
Singular.
Singular?
I did. And unfortunately, it's not.
Those vestiges. Okay. Yeah. We need to get that one. Somebody has to give that one up. We need to get it.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we've gotten to the end of our time. Why don't you give that website one more time, Sharon?
UK Royal Beasts.
And it'll tell you how to get what sounds like it'll be a really amazing, cool app. That's going to be lots of fun. Is the app in the stores,
The
like
Play Store?
the Play stores?
Yeah, it's in both the Android Play Store for tablets and phones, and it's also in the Apple iOS Store for tablets and phones. Coming soon, it'll be coming for the Apple computer.
Awesome.
So everybody, go get this app. Hey, if you're watching and you dig the Royals, this would be a cool thing. In fact, here's why I think someone needs to have it on their phone. You ready? You and your friends, you're all, what is it, Royal phobes? There's a term for it.
Royal Files?
Royal Files.
Yeah.
You're at dinner. An argument breaks out.
Oh, no.
You're almost coming to blows, and you say, I can prove it. I've got the app. And then, so it's that thing you keep on your phone just to show people that they're not as smart as you. Hey, look, I have a couple of apps on my phone for that very reason. I have the IMDb app, Internet Movie Database, for that very reason, just so I can say, no, Kirk Douglas was not in that movie.
I get it wrong all the time. All right, go connect with Paul. Go to ukroyalbeast.com, and to connect with us, go to freemarketingconsultation.com.
Yep, we can talk for 30 minutes on a success call. Most people will report back to us that was worth at least $10,000 in either generated sales, or we helped keep them from doing stuff that they didn't want to do anymore. So.
And if you want to be on the Viewcast as well, just let us know when you sign up at freemarketingconsultation.com.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you on the next episode.